Hello and welcome back. We are still in the Kelsey Fitzsimmons Day 2 trial. We are late afternoon. We just got finished up. Gosh, why can't I talk? We had Officer Core and an MSP trooper on the stand. And so now we are in the afternoon to see who's up next. So we have some questions. Is there a chain of custody issue with the guns? So, uh, Officer Noonan said, "Hey, I gave my gun to the chief." And then when the MSP trooper got it, the chain of custody came from a Michael. Where is it at? I had it. Michael Logan. Is there an issue? I don't know. Could be. Brado somewhat hinted at it, and I try to follow the breadcrumbs, so we will see. Do we have a definitive as to whether or not Kelsey did go ahead and do these things that Noonan said, or is it with the defense made in their open statement? I don't know all of the behind the scenes things. I'm kind of going into this with knowing a little bits of information. So I'm trying to be a juror, a fact finder, and an at home armchair juror. So I'm open. I'm listening to all of the evidence. And just remember, it is about reasonable doubt, right? Sure, right now I have doubt. I don't know what happened. One person says one thing, this says another thing. Until all of the evidence is in, that is when I will make my conclusion. But right now, I'm still on the fence. I don't know which way I'm leaning. So, which way are you going? And are you persuaded one way or the other thus far? And why? Why? So let me know in the comments. But do like and subscribe so that I can bring you some more content. I'm trying to build up my channel. So, all right, here we go, folks. We are in it to win it. I don't know if that's, I don't know. I'm phrasing today. I'm phrasing. All right.
Try to speak up nice and loud directly into this microphone.
Speak up nice and loud because we got a window that we want to open and it's a garbage day. All right. Witness number 7.
Sir, in a loud, clear voice, can you please introduce yourself? Spell your first name and your last name.
Officer Timothy Houston, TimothyHouston.
And, sir, what do you do for a living?
Patrol officer with North Andover Police Department.
How long have you been doing that?
A little over 5 years. Okay.
Sir, did you, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in North Andover.
Did you go through the North Andover school system?
Up until high school.
And where'd you go?
I went to Central Catholic.
After Central Catholic, what did you do?
I went to Norwich University and got a bachelor's in criminal justice.
After you graduated there, what did you do?
I went to the Army. I was in the Army for 4.5 years, reached the rank of sergeant, and then came home, joined the North Andover Police Department.
Okay. And so when was that you joined the PD?
Started the academy in November of 2020.
And your rank now, you're a patrol officer?
Patrol officer.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your duties as a patrol officer?
I worked a 4 to 12 shift. I started on midnights. I've been on 4 to 12. I think it's my 3rd year. It's basically if you're not answering calls, you're on the road, watching traffic, things of that nature.
I'm going to jump back for a second and just talk about your military service. You were in the Army, you said?
That's correct.
Okay. And what did you do there?
Thanks for your service, Sergeant Houston. Well, he was a sergeant in the Army. Right now he's officer. But he was a sergeant.
I was a cavalry scout.
And what did that entail?
Yeah, what's a cavalry scout?
I mean, I had different positions. The job itself, you mainly focus on reconnaissance. While I was there, I started as a dismount. Then I moved up to a gunner, and then I was a dismount team leader, and then I was a gunner for the lieutenants in the platoon. That's pretty much it.
Where were you stationed?
I was at Fort Lewis, Washington.
Now we're going to jump back to the PD. Okay. Do you know a person by the name of Kelsey Fitzsimmons?
I do.
How do you know her?
worked together briefly. I mean, she was in the academy. I can't remember how long she was out of the academy, but she was FTOing for a while, and she was FTOing on my shift. And then she finished FTO, and she worked on our shift for a brief period of time.
Okay. FTO, what do you mean by that?
So she was under a field training officer. So she was riding around with somebody while she got used to the job, learned.
Did she ever ride around with you?
No, she did not.
Did you know her socially at all?
I'm having a little bit of a hard read on him so far. Does he not like Kelsey? He's just like, yeah, nor. So I don't know if that's just his personality or whether or not he does not like her. So let me back this up just a smidge.
Did you know her socially at all?
Yeah. I was invited to her wedding. We kept in touch when she went on leave. Tried to keep her in the loop. Spoke with her, kind of, trying to get everybody together before her wedding. Her wedding was a decent amount of time away, and while she was out of work, we obviously didn't see her as much. So we had been working on planning something with some of the guys from work, people bringing their spouses, their dogs, and trying to figure out something, but it never happened.
Okay. Did you know her fiance?
I met him at the engagement party. Other than that, I'd see him, on calls if we had the FD, but I don't know him that well.
Okay. So I'm going to turn your attention to June 30th of last year. We are working that day.
Yes.
Okay. And at some point, did you get in touch by Lieutenant Daly?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the nature of that communication?
He called me and said, Justin filed an RO against Kelsey. He wanted me and Officer Noonan to go to the house and serve the RO, which required Justin picking up their baby and confiscating our firearms.
Okay. How did he get in touch with you? Do you remember?
By cell phone.
Okay. Did he ask you to do anything in particular about Officer Noonan?
Initially, he told me to drive past Kelsey's house and see if she was home.
Okay. Did you do that?
I did.
And you knew where she lived?
Yes.
Did she park in a particular place usually?
So normally, yes, she would park in front of her house if she was home. I found her car.
Again, how do these people know where she parks her car? Have you ever been to her house? I mean, okay, all right. I'm going to take this two separate ways. She seems to be on somewhat of a busy street. She's by a school. Perhaps is that an area that they patrol and go back and forth? And they're like, hey, that's Kelsey's house. That's her car. But why are they so definitive? Like, this is where her car is. And she didn't have her car there. So we couldn't block her in and la, la, la. Like, I don't know. Are they thinking that Kelsey knows that something's up and therefore she didn't park her car there? Did she know she was going to get an RO on her? She didn't act like it. She didn't have any clue as to why you were there. I don't know what's so nefarious about her not having her car there. I'm hoping someone will tell me.
Park in a particular place usually?
So normally, yes, she would park in front of her house if she was home. I found her car 50 to 100 yards down the road, kind of in the school lot, kind of tucked away.
Okay. Did you relay that information?
Is this part of the Justin's plan that she's going to flee with the baby to New Hampshire? But just remember, she's supposed to have her job back on July the 3rd. Isn't that just 3 days away? I don't know, tucked away like
To Lieutenant Daley at that point?
I did.
Okay. And at the point that you
only
saw her
3 days
car,
3
had you
days
already talked to Officer Noonan?
After I called Lieutenant Daley and told him about her car being out of, and it parked in a strange way, I called Officer Noonan.
Okay. And
parked
what
in a
did you tell
strange
him?
way.
I
It's
said,
parked in a
"Hey,
strange way.
what's going on?" He hadn't talked to Lieutenant Daley yet, so he had no idea what's going on. So I told him to meet me in the parking lot and I'd go over it with him.
And did he do that?
He did.
Did he get there before Lieutenant Daley did, if you remember?
Yes, he did.
Did you inform him of what was going on?
I did.
At some point, did Lieutenant Daley also meet up with you in that particular spot?
Yes.
Okay. Did you talk about a plan as to how you were going to handle serving the order?
I mean, my only memory is what I updated Officer Noonan with, just the circumstances why we're going there and concerns that we had, but I don't remember what the exact plan was. I think it was assumed that Lieutenant Daley would do most of the talking.
Okay. And you said your concerns. What were your concerns?
Right.
We were aware that she had been sectioned before, so, I mean, obviously it's a tough position for her, finding out, there's an order in place, we're taking her firearms, we got to take the baby, give them to Justin, so we thought with her past being sectioned, she might not take that news very well, and, we weren't sure what was going to happen.
Okay. Had you served restraining orders yourself before?
Yes.
Now, at some point, did you go over to 125 Phillips Brook Road?
Yes, we did.
And the three of you?
Yes.
Did you go in together?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us what happened as you approached the house? And take us from there.
So we parked off to the side of the house, out of view of the house itself. We walked around, knocked on the front door, or the side porch door, whatever.
Had you ever been in that home before?
I don't think I'd ever been in the home, no.
Didn't I ask that earlier? Or if I didn't, it was in my head. Had you ever been to the house before? So, like, how do you know that Kelsey's parking there? Like, are you guys spying on her? You know what her car is? It's just so weird. Unless she's like on a busy street that they patrol back and forth and like, oh yeah, that's Kelsey's house. There's her car. I don't know.
Did when you knocked or rang, I'm sorry, I forget what you said.
I don't remember.
Okay. Did someone answer?
Yes, Kelsey answered.
Okay. Did she have the baby with her?
She did.
Okay. So what happened then?
She wasn't sure why we were there. Lieutenant Daley
Right.
kind of had the paperwork in his hand. She invited us in, and Lieutenant Daley just started explaining why we were there and what was going on.
Okay. Where in the house did you go?
So we went into the living room.
Okay. Did you remain standing? Was she seated? What happened with the baby? Can you describe what happened there?
So Lieutenant Daley asked her to take a seat on one of the couches. Had her put the baby in like a rocker on the floor, and I stood kind of away from them by another couch.
Okay. Could you hear what they were saying?
Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly what was said, but
What was the gist?
Justin filed this order. Lieutenant, she was shocked by it. Lieutenant Daley was doing his best to, mediate and tell her, this is what has to happen now, but you're going to have your day in court. Like nothing's, we're going to figure this out.
Did you
Oh,
look
really?
around the living room?
We are going to figure this out. No, you're not. She's going to have to figure this out. You guys are just there to serve the order, and then that's it. But when you say we are going to have to figure this out, what I'm assuming means that they're going to have to take her guns. And then she said, I'm going to be fired. And then maybe that's when he said, we'll work these things out. You're cutting out some corners here, buddy.
At all?
Yes, I did.
And did you notice something?
Yes. So on the couch I was near, there was clothes everywhere. And I could see a handgun case sticking out. And before that, Lieutenant Daly had asked Kelsey where her firearms were. She said they're in the basement. While they were having that discussion, I saw the handgun case, picked it up, opened it. It was empty, and Kelsey reassured me that they were in the basement.
Okay. So that was the second time she said they were in the basement.
Yes.
How soon after you got in there was that question asked about where the guns were, if you remember?
It was almost immediately.
That was one of the first questions.
Yes.
Um, what happened next?
We told her that, or Lieutenant Daly told her that Justin's going to come and pick up the baby. So she said, you know, how long is he going to have him? I need to pack for him. So me and Lieutenant Daly began following Kelsey as she packed for the baby.
Okay. And did she do anything with the baby when you guys were following her around, if you remember?
I believe at that time, Officer Noonan was holding the baby.
Now, you said you were following her around the house,
That's correct.
was it? Why was that?
It was still, we were still a little bit on edge. She had to go to the kitchen. I remember when me and Lieutenant Daly followed her in the kitchen, I was concerned because there was butcher knives all on the kitchen. That was just something that stood out to me.
Okay. Was it your intention for you or another officer to be with her the entire time?
That's correct.
Is that standard practice when you're have similar concerns?
Correct.
After you went into the kitchen, do you remember where you went?
I believe we went upstairs. Me, Kelsey, Lieutenant Daly, briefly came back downstairs, and then we went into the other side room. I think it's like an exercise room.
At any point, if you remember, did the defendant make a call?
Yes, at some point she called her mother.
So after you came downstairs, at some point, did you take possession of the baby?
That's correct.
What happened while you were holding the baby? Anything?
Yeah, so I took the baby from Officer Noonan, which Kelsey asked me to do, which I did. Kelsey told me, why don't you take him for a walk? He likes to look at the cars. I told her, I said I'd take the baby, but I wasn't going to leave. So I took the baby out on the porch, and the baby was crying, so I was doing my best with the baby. And at that point, her mom showed up.
Through that same door you guys had come in?
Correct.
Okay. And so what did you do when she came?
I peeked in. I told Lieutenant Daly, like, the mom's here. Why don't we give her the baby? And we invited the mom in.
After the mom came in and you handed the baby to her, did you stay in the immediate area or did you go somewhere?
So once the mom came in, she was pretty upset with us, but Lieutenant Daly explained the situation to her. So at that point, me and Officer Noonan followed Kelsey upstairs so she could pack more things.
Describe upstairs, if you would.
There's a landing. It's a T hallway.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
These
So you go up the
courthouses must be
stairs,
next
there's a
to
landing,
firehouses.
There's a room off to the left and a room off to the right.
And could you describe the room off to the left?
It's got I believe it's the baby's room, has a crib in it.
And how about the room to the right?
That would be Kelsey's bedroom.
Now,
Ken didn't secure any weapons. Didn't secure the rooms.
you said you followed her up there. Did she go in any one particular room
She moved between both the rooms.
while you were up there?
Correct.
And what was she doing?
She was packing. At some point, she mentioned that Justin doesn't have a car seat. So she handed me a car seat. I was holding it and started putting more and more stuff in there. And at some point I put it down.
Why'd you put it down?
I didn't want to have my hands tied up.
And did that continue for some bit?
Briefly, at some point she heard a female's voice downstairs and she made a comment to me. She said, "Who's downstairs, my baby?" I said, "I believe it's your mom. I mean, we were just there." And she said, "That's not my mom's voice." And I got the sense that she wanted me to go downstairs and check, but I just kind of dismissed it at the time.
And so you stayed up there.
I stayed up
Do you
there.
remember which room that was in when you were having that conversation?
That was right at the landing. So she had moved, I think she had moved back to her bedroom, and as she was coming across, she had mentioned it. And at some point up there, I'd found another handgun case.
Okay. And where was that?
I honestly couldn't tell you which room it was in.
Okay. And did you look into it?
I opened it, and she saw me open it, and she said, "I already told you they're in the basement."
Was there anything?
What? Oh, shoot. Hold on. Sorry. The feed jumped. Let's see where this is at.
Stay in the immediate area, or did you go somewhere?
So once the mom came in, I told him, Kelsey doesn't want Justin in the house.
Okay. Let's move just a smidge.
Briefly, at some point, she heard
Okay.
a female's voice downstairs, and she made a comment to me. She said, "Who's downstairs, my baby?" I said, "I believe it's your mom. I mean, we were just there." And she said, "That's not my mom's voice." And I got the sense that she wanted me to go downstairs and check, but I just kind of dismissed it at the time.
And so you stayed up there.
I stayed up
Do you
there.
remember which room that was in when you were having that conversation?
That was right at the landing. So she had moved, I think she had moved back to her bedroom, and as she was coming across, she had mentioned it. And at some point up there, I'd found another handgun case.
Okay. And where was that?
I honestly couldn't tell you which room it was in.
Okay. And did you look into it?
I opened it, and she saw me open it, and she said, "I already told you they're in the basement."
Was there anything in it?
There was nothing in it.
At some point, was your attention drawn downstairs again?
Correct.
Okay. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So at some point, Justin came. Kelsey heard his voice, and she said, "I don't want him in the house." And at that point, I thought the only thing that was going to escalate the situation is them two in the house together at the same point. So I wanted to help Kelsey out. So I told her I'd go tell Justin to leave.
Okay. Where were you when this conversation happened?
Between me and Kelsey, we were still upstairs.
Okay. And was Officer Noonan also with you?
Yeah.
So did you go downstairs?
I did.
Okay. Officer Noonan stay up with Kelsey?
Correct.
Where is she at this point, if you remember?
She was either in her room or at the landing, but I couldn't be certain. But when we had that conversation, we were at the landing.
You went downstairs.
Correct.
And what did you do when you went downstairs?
So when I went downstairs, I only saw Lieutenant Daly, the mom, and I told him, Kelsey doesn't want Justin in the house. And he said, "All right, Justin's," I don't know if he said he's in the basement or he's coming up from the basement. He said, "Just go to the basement and tell him just to wait outside."
Okay. So where'd you go?
I walked past Lieutenant Daly and Kelsey's mom through the kitchen where the basement, the top of the stairs is, and I opened that door.
Could you see down?
So the lights were off. I flicked the light to turn the lights on. The lights didn't turn on. So
Could you hear anything downstairs?
I couldn't hear anything, and I remember after I flicked the lights on, they didn't go on, and I'm looking at a pitch black basement. I thought there was a chance I misheard Lieutenant Daly, and I just kind of stood there. I was like, I really don't want to walk down there if he's not down there, but I don't know how he's. I was just kind of having like a moment where I wasn't sure whether or not to check with Lieutenant Daly.
Okay. Um, did something happen at that point?
Yeah. So at that point, I heard Officer Noonan yell Kelsey, and then I heard 2 gunshots.
What did you do?
I ran back the way I came. At that point,
Okay. Okay, just remember we have the power of having more information and what have you because, we're armchair detectives, right? So if the baby seat was upstairs, we know that Justin had the baby seat and was taking it outside with him. So at some point in time, Houston took some of the baby stuff downstairs because how did the baby seat, which he says was upstairs, get downstairs then to Justin to take it out to the car? Unless it was a different baby seat that we're talking about. But I do recall, I think Noonan said that Kelsey was giving them things to take downstairs and that Houston took some stuff downstairs and that she was giving him some stuff and he wouldn't take it. He was going to still stay with her. So I'm not saying it's any nefarious sort of thing. I'm just saying this is my recollection of things. He didn't say that he brought anything downstairs. I don't know if that's a big deal or not, but I'm just bringing it to the attention of whoever wants to hear me say it.
it was only Kelsey's mom. She was still in the living room. Lieutenant Daly was gone. He'd already gone upstairs, and I started making my way upstairs.
Okay. When you were making your way upstairs, could you see anybody at the top of the landing?
I could see Officer Newman.
And what happened as you went up?
So, I mean, I knew it was gunshots. I came over the air and I said, start medics. I don't know if that got caught or someone else was calling at the same time, but I had my pistol out and I was going up the stairs. I saw Noonan and I said, like, you good up there? What was that? And I can't remember exactly what he said at that point.
Can you give us the gist of what he said?
We got a lot of other details here, buddy, but you can't remember this one? Gonna give you the gist. Gonna speculate.
The gist of what he said?
At that point, he said, yeah, he looked like he was still in shock. He said, yeah. So I kept moving up towards him. And as I got closer to him, I was like, what just happened? He said, she pulled a gun on me. And we talked about it later, but at that point, that's what he said.
Yep, we talked about it later.
Okay. Just didn't want anything further. Okay. Thank you.
Do you remember the exact words he used?
So the exact words he used would be after the FD and we had gone into the other room and spoken. But at that exact moment, that I don't even.
What's the basis?
So I'm not, I guess it's a vague question because I don't know what he's referring to in terms of what conversation, how long is it after the incident, what's the demeanor, what's the purpose of being offered for. There's a lot to unpack here.
All right, well, what the answer was didn't include hearsay. It just was that I think it was something to the effect that later on they went in the kitchen, maybe he and Noonan and had a discussion, something to that effect. But the objection is overruled.
So the fact of the discussion, I don't object to, but just any further, I'm trying to stop from coming out. Thank you.
Would the exact words that he used when you first ran up the stairs, would it help you to remember if you looked at a report?
I know he did say she pointed the gun at me, pulled the trigger, and racked the slide. Whether it was right when I was moving up the stairs or once everything got situated, it was in that time frame, but I can't remember if it was exactly when I got to the top of the stairs or.
Okay, would,
Motion to strike the testimony.
would looking at a report help you remember that?
Hold on a second, there's an objection. You strike what?
Non-responsive, it's, I don't know what conversation he's talking about. It's hearsay and
All right,
it's
well,
frankly news to the defense.
okay, so first things first, on the hearsay issue, Mr. Gubitosi,
I'm trying to establish that it happened seconds after the event.
so for the truth of the matter or state of mind?
Both.
Okay. And so to the extent that you're seeking to offer for the truth of the matter, it's hearsay. And I think, didn't we already litigate the spontaneous utterance?
No, that was a different time frame.
Oh, that was a different, all right. So are you arguing that this should be admitted as a spontaneous utterance?
Yes.
Okay. And then the rest of your objections that is within there, let's just take them a step at a time. Let's get through the spontaneous utterance. So, Mr. Bradel, what do you say on the spontaneous utterance?
So I think there's certainly a lack of foundation, Judge, where there's been two different overlapping statements that are referenced here. I don't know where they're going back to here. It needs to be clarified foundationally what happened before the statement, how long after the shots it was, what were the circumstances of that particular first statement they want to try to use.
So
That's what I asked for.
I agree with Mr. Bradel that it's the foundation right now, and it's not the witnesses, it's no one's fault. The foundation right now, to me, is confusing because he's having trouble remembering which conversation.
I do understand that. That's why I'm looking to approach with the report,
Okay.
to refresh his memory, yes.
All right, well, why don't you do that, and we'll take it a step at a time.
Right.
Just so you know, for right now, I'm not going to strike the testimony because it can come in for state of mind. The issue is whether it comes in for the truth.
Thank you.
Does that help you remember the timing of that statement?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, when did that statement happen?
So that statement happened when I got to the top of the stairs.
Right.
I don't know what statement it is because he's
Sure, I'll ask him.
He's recited two different statements. Again, I'm not casting aspersions, but it was, she pulled the gun on me, or she pointed a gun, wrapped trigger, etc. So if you can have them clarified.
Sure. What statement did you hear when you ran up the stairs the first time?
So she pointed a gun at me. I'm speaking from Officer Noonan's perspective. Pointed the
Can't hear
gun.
you, sir.
I can't hear you.
She pointed the gun at Officer Noonan, pulled the trigger, and then racked the slide.
All right, and there's an objection to that coming in for truth of the matter?
I just have one more.
Sure, take your time.
Judge, there's still a lack of foundation here, Your Honor. Now he's saying something different than what he said 2 answers ago about what the statement was. So this is, in terms of any sort of reliability preliminary finding of any of this, it's all over the place. He just said something completely different than what he said before.
He's now clarified it, so we're beyond that. And so he's now has identified the statement, identified where it was made, when it was made. There was some mention before about the declarant state of mind. So I guess what I'm politely saying is you need to move beyond that. So now the issue for me is, does that statement come in for the truth of the matter? And
Judge, I think that I'll reiterate my arguments from the earlier discussion about the other excited utterance statement, Your Honor, that this isn't like a domestic violence situation where someone is, you know, a battered woman or something where the time frame is much more flexible. And in this situation, you have an officer-involved shooting that happens. Another fellow investigating officer comes right up there, and there's a huge motive to fabricate immediately, Your Honor, that something happened that covers the officer, covers the shooting officer, versus being under the influence of the event so that you're not fabricating. There's an immediate impulse here that this officer has to cover his future. He has to cover his conduct right away. There doesn't need to be much time to realize that from an officer who jumps the gun, from an officer who panics and shoots someone in the wrong circumstances. That's something that would immediately happen. And particularly where there's no surrounding corroboration, where there's no attempt by the government or no testimony from Noonan that this happened. This is something completely different that the statement happened, that this interaction with Houston happened. There's extremely unreliable circumstances. If that really happened, Noonan would have testified to it. If that really happened, the government would have given me discovery on it. If that really happened, it would have been corroborated. So,
The discovery, the lack of discovery or argument is a different matter. Anything else on?
Did you see that exchange? It's like, it's right here in the statement. He's got this, she's like shaking, giving him the statement, and Brado's like, no, we don't know. And this is a big, huge, this is a huge standing objection. And remember, our lovely Judge Karp said, I don't want to do sidebars, but if we have to, we should. And this should be a sidebar moment because they're arguing this in open court with the witness on the stand. Now, I this is very, very important, right? Bradel's trying to keep this out. He says that this didn't happen and now it's happened, but the other guy says it's in a statement. Who knows?
Just the
All right, let's see what's going to happen.
assertion that it qualifies as a spontaneous utterance.
no, Your Honor, just the notion that it's not a domestic violence situation. It's a situation where the motive to fabricate immediately arises. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Gubitosi, anything further on that?
This is exactly what the exception is for. It couldn't have been more immediate unless Officer Houston was standing next to Officer Noonan when it happened. He immediately heard the shots, immediately heard the yell, and ran up the flight of stairs that you've seen pictures of, and asked what happened, and got that response. So that's my answer to that. And as far as, I think I have to, since we're on the record, talk about a discovery violation. This.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
Okay, let's just take it a step at a time. All right, anything else?
No, thank you.
All right, so I'm gonna sustain the objection, but for reasons different than Mr. Bradel articulated, and essentially for the same reasons that I stated yesterday to Attorney Moriarty, and that is that when I weigh the factors under Baldwin, I come out that it militates towards excluding it for the truth of the matter. It will come in for state of mind. We don't need to get to alleged discovery violations or any other reasons because I've sustained the objection. Unless you want to
I just like
make
to
a
put on the
record.
It was part of his recorded interview that they've had since the beginning.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Now,
So-
sir, after you heard Officer Noonan tell you that she pulled out a pistol, pulled
Racked
the
it.
trigger, and racked around, where did you go?
At that point, I was at the landing. I looked in and I saw Kelsey on the ground and I saw Lieutenant Daly over.
What was he doing? Anything?
It looked like he was kind of evaluating her. I moved towards them. I asked either Noonan or Lieutenant, I said, where's the gun? I believe I asked Noonan, and he motioned away from Kelsey, so that stopped being my concern. I moved close to Lieutenant Daly just to see what level of consciousness Kelsey was. I could see she was breathing, she was alert. So I told Lieutenant Daly I was going to go get a med bag.
Was she saying anything?
She kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
And so where did you go?
I ran down to get the medical bag out of my cruiser.
Did you get it?
I did.
Did you come back?
I did.
And what did you do when you came back?
I threw the medical bag on the bed, and I started taking stuff out. I took out the AED. I took out gauze, wraps, stuff like that. Handed it to Lieutenant Daly.
Okay. Sure.
If you get one time down to get
A domestic violence situation where
kind of evaluating.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
Okay,
To that. And as far as I got that response, there's shots immediately. This is
Mr. Gubitosi, anything further on that?
this is exactly what the he immediately heard the shots.
We're not there yet. Any objections anymore?
Sir, after
Lieutenant, I said, where's the gun? I believe I asked Noonan, kind of evaluated. Then and
Okay, I missed
Pull the
something
trigger
completely. I'm
after
sorry.
where did you go?
At that point, I was at the landing. I looked in and I saw Kelsey on the ground, and I saw
Okay.
either Noonan or Lieutenant. I said, where's the gun? I believe I asked Noonan, and he motioned away from Kelsey, so that stopped being my concern. I moved close, so I told Lieutenant stuff like that. Handed it to Lieutenant Daly.
Okay. Sure. I'm going to jump back to Officer Noonan just a minute. When you went up the stairs and you saw Officer Noonan, did he have his gun out?
The med bag or before that?
First time.
First time, he had it out.
And how was he holding it?
He had it at the low ready, so he had it kind of down towards the ground.
Pointing to the ground?
Yes,
Do you see Kelsey Fitzsimmons in the courtroom here today?
I do.
Can you point to her and describe an article of clothing she's wearing?
She's wearing like a beige sweater.
May the record reflect she's identified the defendant?
It may.
Thank you. I have nothing else.
Cross-examination?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You said that Ms. Fitzsimmons initially exhibited a lack of certainty, or that she was unsure why you were there, correct?
Correct.
And how was that manifested?
She just looked surprised. Her eyes were wide. She didn't. I guess it's the best way I could describe it.
Now, you were with her for a good amount of time during this interaction, right?
Correct.
And it's true that she tried to kind of get you away from her a couple of times?
That's what I believe, yes.
She gave you the baby and said maybe go out on the porch and or take him for a walk.
Correct.
And then she also put some, tried to put some things in your hands and asked you to take them downstairs.
She didn't ask me to take them downstairs. She just put them in my hand
And where did that occur?
on the landing
Upstairs?
upstairs.
And you said that you heard Officer Noonan yell Kelsey,
Correct.
and that's all?
That's all.
One time?
One time.
And how about after after he said Kelsey, how long of a time elapsed until the gunshots?
I couldn't put an exact time. It wasn't instant, but it was relatively quick.
Relatively quick. How about the gunshots themselves? There was 2 gunshots, right?
2 gunshots.
Were they in quick succession?
Relative, yeah, pretty quick.
And you said that Ms. Fitzsimmons said, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
Correct.
Did she say, "I'm sorry, I tried to kill myself"?
She did not say that.
Just, "I'm sorry"?
I'm sorry. 3 times.
Now, was there a plan before this to section Kelsey?
No.
You mentioned that you had known that she was sectioned before, right?
Correct.
And that was several months prior, wasn't it?
I don't know exactly when it was.
Okay, so it's fair to say that you don't really have any grasp of the details of that incident, do you?
I do not.
And you don't know whether it had anything to do with the police or not, do you?
I know there was police there, but I don't know the circumstances of what happened.
Okay, so you don't know how long it was?
No.
And you don't even know whether she was in fact accepted as a Section 12 commitment, do you?
No idea.
And so, do you know the difference between having forms filled out to be looked at under Section 12 versus being accepted and committed under Section 12?
Yeah, so I didn't want to, like I said, I was invited to her wedding. I was friends with Kelsey.
No, that's not my question.
Okay.
I asked you some stuff about Section 12.
I know if you get sectioned, you're going to be there for probably 72 hours and you can't leave.
And do you have any idea whether that happened in March?
I have no idea.
So it's fair to say that other than kind of the notion floating around in your department that she was sectioned, you really have no information whatsoever about it. Isn't that right?
No, I didn't want to know.
And then you said something about the knives in Ms. Fitzsimmons' kitchen.
Correct.
What's the status of the knives in Ms. Fitzsimmons' kitchen?
Just at that point, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So I didn't want her to reach for a knife. It's nothing against her. It's just, it's a lot of information to take in. I didn't know how she was going to react.
Okay, so was there something strange about the knives that were in her kitchen?
No, it's just a weapon in the kitchen.
So when you're serving one of these things, anything can be a weapon, right? Any normal household product item can be a weapon, right?
I wouldn't say anything.
Well, a lot of things. How about that?
Yeah, well, let's go with that.
And in this case, there were knives in her kitchen. Is there anything more to it than that?
No, that's it.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Yes.
Wow. He's hard. I mean, like, I believe some of the things that he says, the statements, that's a little tough, but he seems super genuine and he knows her. And, he's like, I'm just doing my job. He's like, I don't know what happened. I'm just there just to do my job. So hard.
And any,
Thank you. Nothing further.
okay,
Mm.
and any redirect?
Yeah, just briefly, a
Okay.
lot of things could be weapons, correct?
Correct.
So that's why you don't leave someone alone, right? That's why you keep eyes on them the whole time.
Correct.
That's why you use the term in their pocket.
But yet, Lieutenant Daly let Justin walk around by himself. You can say that, but I'm gonna keep saying you let Justin walk around by himself. Because anybody in that house could be volatile at any moment in time. I guess.
That's why you keep eyes on them the whole time.
Correct.
That's why you use the term in their pocket while they're walking around, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Any recross?
Nothing further.
Okay, all right, you may step down. And Commonwealth, can you call your next witness?
All right, we are on witness number 8. People in or out?
Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause and have a hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Step up right here, try to keep your voice up nice and loud, speak directly into this thing, pull your chair, so the judge can hear you.
How are you?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hi, ma'am. Could you please state your name, spell your first name and your last name?
Yes. My name is Michelle Mitchell. Michelle is Michelle. Last name Mitchell, Mitchell.
And what town do you live in?
I live in Ipswich, Massachusetts.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a correctional officer.
Um,
didn't hear that.
I'm a correctional officer.
Oh, correction.
And how long have you been doing that?
8 years.
In Middleton?
Yes,
Do you know Kelsey Fitzsimmons?
I do.
How do you know her?
We were coworkers and we eventually became friends.
Now I'm going to jump ahead in your relationship. Well, when did you meet her? Do you remember?
The end of 2021.
At some point, you knew she was getting married.
Yes.
Were you going to be part of that?
Yes, I was a bridesmaid in their wedding.
I'm going to turn your attention to June 30th of 2025. Do you recall that day?
I do.
At some point, did you have a conversation with her?
I did.
And was that over the phone?
Yes.
And can you tell us about that?
Yes, we talked on the phone, and she was driving around North Andover, and she was crying, and I heard her baby crying in the back seat.
Did she tell you why she was crying?
She said that she needed Justin.
Any more than that, or was that the gist of it?
That was the gist of the conversation, and then she said she had to pull over to feed the baby.
Now, where were you when you had that conversation? Do you remember?
I was in North Andover driving around trying to meet up with her.
Did you ever meet up with her that day?
I did not until I saw her later in the hospital.
You, where did you go? Did you stay in North Andover?
I did, and up until I went to the hospital after she was shot.
Okay. Where did you go in North Andover? Anybody's house in particular?
I went to Hunter's house.
Okay. And who is Hunter?
He is a friend of Justin's.
And Justin Alayan?
Yes.
And who do you know him to be with regards to Kelsey?
He is a coworker of Justin's and also a friend of his.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hunter. I meant of the defendant. Who is Justin in relation to the defendant?
Oh,
Sorry
Justin.
if that was unclear.
That's okay. Justin was Kelsey's fiance.
Was anybody else over Hunter's house?
Yes.
Who was that?
It would be me, Justin, Katrina, myself, and Justin's sister, Courtney.
And who is Katrina?
A friend of Kelsey Fitzsimmons.
Was she also in the wedding, if you know?
Yes.
Without getting into the conversation that was being had between the half dozen of you or so, do you know if Justin made a decision to do something?
Yes.
What was that?
He was going to go to the Lawrence courthouse to file a restraining order 209A and also get temporary custody of the child.
Okay. And at any point, did you see the defendant in the area of Hunter's house?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes. I witnessed her drive by Hunter's house.
Thank you. I have nothing else.
Ross?
Good afternoon, Ms. Mitchell.
Good afternoon.
Just a couple questions. You said that you spoke with Kelsey on 6/30/25,
That is correct.
and she told you that she was driving around. She said that she was meeting Justin, right?
No, she was not meeting Justin.
Did you say needing Justin?
I thought you said meeting.
I did. Wasn't she
What did
going
you
to meet
say?
Justin?
That was what I understood from Justin, but she didn't tell me that on the phone.
Okay, she said that she needed Justin.
Meeting or needing? You need to clarify that for me.
I think
Oh.
I said needed. She said,
Oh, someone's a little hostile. I could tell when he was like, "Hi, how are you?" She's like, I could tell. Oh shit, that ain't gonna go well. Let's hear that again. You need to clarify that.
I did. Wasn't she going to meet Justin?
That was what I understood from Justin, but she didn't tell me that on the phone.
Okay, she said that she needed Justin.
Meeting or needing? You need to clarify that for me.
I think I said needed. She said she needed Justin.
Needed Justin. That is correct.
Okay, so just let's put that over here. And she had also told you that day that she was meeting Justin, right?
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
So she couldn't meet with you because she was meeting Justin, right?
That is what she said.
You
Ma'am.
said there was some sort of gathering at Hunter's house,
Yes,
and that was a social gathering with swimming and drinking, right?
that is incorrect.
Was there swimming?
No, Mr. Bradle.
Was there drinking?
Also no.
And it was you, Katrina, and Justin and his sister and Hunter, right?
Correct.
Now, you said that you saw her drive by the house,
Yes,
and so it's fair to say that she would have been able to recognize some or all of the vehicles, right?
yes,
And going by the house is a route that would take her to the North Andover Common, right?
yes, it's near there, correct.
Nothing further.
Nothing.
All right, you may step down.
Thank you.
May we approach?
Yes. Just give me one moment. Well, you can start walking over.
Quiet, please. We are still on the record.
Well, you can see what side she's on, right? Well, I mean, you knew what side she was on when she was with Hunter and Katrina and Justin over at Hunter's friend. You knew Kelsey is on the OUTS. Wow. I want to know what happened at the bachelorette party. Bachelorette party. Might not be able to get into it. They're probably done for the day.
We were discussing, why don't you continue in open court, Mr. Brado? We were discussing, why don't you give me an update on the potential for review?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. We did get
Yes.
some
Oh, sorry.
kind assent from the folks that live there, and it's something that we can do. And I would say that, you know, in a bench trial situation, we're speaking directly to the fact finder, and we have moved for the view. In the final analysis, I rely on the court's discretion and Your Honor's discretion as to whether a view in the final kind of look at things is helpful to the fact finder. So that's our position on that, and we think that judge will be in a position to end the defense case probably by the end of the day tomorrow, or in the afternoon tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, and as for, so would the view the view occur tomorrow?
I think so, Your Honor, that if that's the case, we could do it tomorrow, or we could do it after the defense case.
Okay, and Commonwealth, what do you say? Well, here's the thing, you take no position, but as I kidded with you earlier, we're gonna need your resources.
Sure, take a
Okay.
position and leave it up to you whether you think you need one. We would absolutely assist in any way we can.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to take a position on whether I need one or not. What I'm going to do is allow the motion, you've requested it, and go there with an open mind, and
Thank you.
we'll treat it like a view with the jury. You folks can point out things to me that you'd like me to remember. It will become part of the evidence like it is in a jury trial, my observations, and the issue. I just need, I'd like to take a short break to just meet with the court staff, Mr. Wayne, and our court officers just on the procedures that we'll use. As I told you at sidebar, I've never done a view in a bench trial. It's not something that we typically do, but I'm all for it. I want to talk with my staff for a few, not my staff, the staff, for a few moments, so that I can come back and we can perhaps get some planning done as well. Okay, so let's just take even a 5-minute break, and Mr. Wayne and our chief and our assistant chief, if I can talk with you for a moment.
All right, while they're doing their little break, I just want to talk a little bit about the last witness, Michelle Mitchell, right? So she said that she went to go see Kelsey at the hospital. Is she supporting her or not? She was a little snarky with Mr. Bradle. Mr. Bradle. I thought he was clear. Need and meet. He wasn't trying to be he didn't seem to be cynical to her. He was trying to get clarification, and she was like, "What's your clarification?" That's just my opinion. So, I don't know. We were not swimming and we were not drinking. Did you bring your swimsuits? Was any alcohol there? No. So you were just there to hang out during the day on June the 30th. Yes. And then Justin went to go get a restraining order on Kelsey. I don't know. I thought maybe she was going to testify that Kelsey was acting crazy or something that day, and that's why Justin went to go get the restraining order. It's still not clear to me as to why he got the restraining. Not that matters, because it's just really about what's happened in the bedroom. But these are things that happen to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. So I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. I'm left with more questions. More questions. So they're meeting with court staff. Apparently there's going to be a view. I think it's important. He should go see the house. I don't know if I was the house owners. I mean, obviously it's not the same, but maybe the bed's going to be in the same position and the air conditioner. So hopefully that area is a little bit open. There wasn't much room, right? There's not that much room between where the bed was, the chair, the chest or whatever, and that. But at least he'll get to see it for himself.
Kelsey Fitzsimmons matter, all counsel and the defendant are present.
Okay, all right, so formally, the motion for review is allowed, and I've met with our court officers, and Mr. Wayne, so let me just specify who's going to be present. I'm gonna assume that the three groups, the Commonwealth, the defense, and the court staff, will
Oops.
go there in separate vehicles. And so we need to just work out a time, and also, frankly, we have to work out. So let me back up. As for who goes inside the house to do the view, I'm sorry, all the folks in the back row, but perhaps it can be the four of you folks that Ms. Fitzsimmons, counsel, the trial counsel that have been here, Attorney Coakley, Attorney Bradle, and your paralegal. And I'm sorry, he said Mr. Bradle has told me your name 6 times, and I just keep forgetting. But I don't mean any disrespect to the other attorneys, but I can already tell from the photographs it's a small house, and then on the court side, it will be myself, Mr. Ruane, our court monitor, if you'll be available, and some court officers. We'll take our own vehicle. I would ask that there be some kind of police escort for us so that we can do this quickly. And I'll also tell the media and our audience that this is not something that you folks will be
Invited.
This is not going, you will not, no one else will be inside that house or really within some yardage or footage of the house. I need to figure out what that would be, other than the folks that I've mentioned. Defense counsel,
Yep.
Ms. Fitzsimmons, the court staff, and the prosecutors. So I'd ask that the North Andover Police, I'll give you some kind of a distance. I need to think about it, but that the North Andover Police do what is you, or the state police.
1,000 feet.
During the view, which is typically shutting down the street or area to make sure that we can accommodate quick movement through there. All right, so that's where we're at. So I would just ask you folks to just work out a time. Let our either chief court officer, assistant chief court officer, Mr. Ruane know what the time that you want to go. And then what we'll do is, if we're in the middle of a witness's testimony, we'll just break, go on the view and come back. And again, the expectations at the view will be just like we do during a jury trial. The attorneys it will be on the record in the sense of it will be recorded. Is that not live, but recorded? Yep. It's a handout, right? So it won't be live, but it will be recorded, so there's a record of it. And the attorneys, like in a jury view, will just point out locations inside the home that you'd like me to, and even outside the home that you'd like me to make note of. All right, and we will go from there. Anything else?
We spoke, we anticipate Thursday morning.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. You anticipate Thursday morning. Okay. That's fine. Just let, okay. All right. And does that work for you folks? Okay. All right. Okay. That makes sense. So tomorrow, the Commonwealth may or may not have a witness. The defense, if the Commonwealth rests, I guess you could rest because it is the defense's motion for the view, so technically you could rest. If the Commonwealth rests in the morning, you'll be ready to proceed with your case? Yes. Okay. All right, excellent. And then we won't obviously get to closings until after the view, so if we're on target, and, and the evidence tomorrow, we can, that can happen on Thursday. All right. All right. And I'm sorry, one other thing. I've only done this once, this trial. I always have these false alarms when I'm ready to leave. And that is that, as I said, I'd like to get some agreement on the law that you want me to apply. All right. So, or at least maybe not agreement, consensus. All right. So you can do that in the way of proposed jury instructions, just a memo, whatever you want to do is fine. Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll stand recess.
All right.
Like a like a charging conference, right? Jury instructions, etc., like they did in the Corey Richards case. Well, it's just like they do in every case. So, okay, wow. So that is the end of day 2 in the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, and we just had Timothy Houston on the stand. Again, the car at her house, they found that was weird. Kelsey was shocked by the order. I wish they talked a little bit more about her demeanor, how she was going through the house. Was she scared? Was she upset? I wish they would have gotten a little bit more into that. He did go downstairs at some point in time with the car seat. I'm surprised that Bradel didn't see that, because the car seat was in Justin's hand and he was taking stuff out. So is it a different car seat? Kelsey showed up with a car seat. Justin took one out. I don't know if there's more than one. He was concerned about the butcher knives. He saw there was another handgun case, and she told him that the guns were in the basement. But the most damning thing was that when he went to go see Noonan, and Noonan told him that she'd pulled a gun on him and that she had racked the slide. So that's a little bit damning for Kelsey at the moment. And unfortunately, Noonan yelled Kelsey once, so he didn't hear anything else. And then he just said the gunshots were relatively quickly. So I don't think they got much. I think the prosecution got more out of Houston than the defense did. So, and then the Michelle Mitchell, I'm not really sure why her testimony was, what was needed in her testimony. What did she say? Other that she needed Justin. I mean, we can see that from the text messages. So, but we did find out that the Commonwealth is getting ready to rest their case tomorrow and that the defense is due to pick it up. So, and the defense said that they might be just finished tomorrow. So maybe are they just calling Kelsey and Kelsey alone and then that's it? And then Thursday is going to be the proposed going out to the viewing of the apartments or house or whatever. And then maybe closing arguments on Thursday, ? So stay tuned because, wow, this is going to get exciting. And I just don't know. So if the prosecution ends their case tomorrow, is there still, I'm not sure. Well, again, I want to hear all the evidence. I want to hear the defense case in chief as well. So let me know what you're thinking. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching Legalese 1, 2, 3. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe for more content.